20 long years of terror, 20 years of ashes. Israel had almost forgotten what freedom even felt like. Iron wheels ruled the roads. King Jabin's fury had crushed every ounce of hope from the land. The fields lay dead, the people lay broken. And in the silence, one question haunted every heart. Had God turned away? Sisera stood over his army like a god of war, 900 iron chariots, and not 1 ounce of mercy. In the darkness, broken men whispered desperate prayers, the only weapon a defeated nation had left. But under a quiet palm tree sat a woman the enemy never saw coming, Deborah, chosen by God himself. They came to her exhausted, afraid, and empty-handed. And somehow, in her presence, hope began to breathe again. She didn't lead with weapons or war cries. She led on her knees, whispering to the only king who could save them. Her name began to travel, from village to village, tribe to tribe. A woman God was preparing for something great. Then, beneath a sky full of stars, everything changed. God finally spoke, and Deborah was ready to listen. Her eyes opened with fire. The moment Israel had prayed for 20 long years had finally arrived. A messenger ran like the wind, carrying words that would summon a reluctant soldier into destiny. Barak stepped into her tent with fear etched into his face, never dreaming his life was about to change forever. 10,000 men, she said. Mount Tabor. This is the day the Lord has chosen for victory. Doubt gripped Barak's chest. Farmers against iron chariots? It sounded like a battle no one could survive. His voice trembled but held firm. If you go with me, Deborah, I will go. Without you, I will not. Deborah rose without hesitation. I will go with you, she said, though the glory would not be his alone. Her words cut through his fear like thunder. The Lord will hand Sisera over to a woman. Something broke inside Barak. Not fear this time, but fire. He would obey, whatever the cost. Across every hill, urgent voices cried the same call. Rise up, Israel. Freedom is finally within reach. Sons kissed their weeping mothers goodbye. Husbands held their wives one last time. Faith was about to be tested. 10,000 hearts stood together on Mount Tabor. Farmers, fathers, and sons, trembling but unwilling to turn back. Deborah moved among them like a flame of courage. Trust the Lord, He alone will fight for you. Below in the valley, Sisera smiled with cruel confidence, certain his iron chariots could never be broken. Then her voice thundered across the mountainside. Go! Today the Lord delivers Sisera into your hands. Barak charged down the mountain like a man reborn, 10,000 hearts pounding behind him in raw, desperate faith. The sky itself seemed to shake as Israel surged forward, proof that God was marching beside them. The heavens tore open without warning, and rain fell like judgment across the trembling battlefield. The river Kishon rose in fury, swallowing the ground beneath Sisera's feet, turning his battlefield into a grave. One by one, his mighty iron chariots sank helplessly into the mud, the very ground betraying his army. Panic tore through Sisera's ranks. The weapon they trusted most had become the trap that destroyed them. Through wind and rain, Israel's soldiers pressed forward, fear replaced with a courage none of them recognized. Sisera stared in horror at his own chariot, buried in mud, as everything he trusted collapsed around him. His soldiers scattered like leaves in the storm, running blindly from a battle they were never meant to win. Sisera abandoned his chariot and ran, the great commander now nothing but a frightened man alone. The one who once made nations tremble now fled across open fields, desperate, breathless, and utterly forsaken. Barak pressed forward without mercy, determined to see God's promise carried through to its final word. By nightfall, the army that had terrorized Israel for 20 years lay shattered across the valley floor. As the storm broke apart, golden light poured through the clouds, heaven's unmistakable signature on the victory. Exhausted soldiers fell into each other's arms, weeping. They had lived to see the impossible happen. Barak searched desperately across the battlefield, but the man who caused so much suffering was nowhere to be found. "He's gone," a soldier gasped. Sisera fled alone into the hills with nothing left but fear. Sisera ran until his legs gave out, the mighty commander now just a broken man running for his life. In the distance, tents flickered with lamplight, one desperate hope for a man who had lost everything. A woman named Jael watched him stumble toward her camp, calm and still, as if she already knew why he had come. "Come in, my lord," she said softly. "Do not be afraid. You are safe here with me." Relief washed over Sisera as he stepped inside, never imagining this tent would become his final refuge. She covered him gently, her hands steady, her heart already carrying a purpose far greater than kindness. He asked for water. She gave him milk instead, tending to him like a mother comforting a frightened child. "Stand at the door," he pleaded, his voice heavy with exhaustion. "Tell no one that I am here." Within moments, sleep swallowed him whole, the great commander utterly unaware his story was about to end. Jael stood over him in silence, Deborah's words echoing in her mind. Victory would belong to a woman. In the quiet dark, fear and courage collided, and Jael chose the courage God had placed in her hands. By morning, the tent stood silent, and the terror that haunted Israel for 20 years was finally over. Jael stepped into the dawn light, calm and resolute, carrying the weight of a history she had just rewritten. The camp woke peacefully, unaware that in the stillness of night, God's promise had already been fulfilled. Not far away, Barak pressed on, still hunting for the man who had vanished into the storm. Jael stepped forward to meet him, her voice steady. "Come, I will show you what you're searching for." "Come," she said, drawing back the tent flap, "and see the man who has haunted Israel for so long." Barak froze. In one breathless instant, he understood. Deborah's prophecy had been fulfilled exactly as spoken. He lowered his head in humility. The victory was never his to claim. It belonged to a woman of faith. The news exploded across the hills like wildfire, and for the first time in 20 years, Israel dared to hope. Families embraced in the streets, tears streaming, laughter breaking free after 2 decades of silence and fear. Beneath her palm tree, Deborah heard the news and wept, not from sorrow, but from overwhelming gratitude. She lifted her voice before all Israel, pouring out a song of praise no one would ever forget. Deborah and Barak sang together, their voices rising as one, honoring every soul who dared to answer God's call. "Let all who love the Lord rise like the sun in its strength." Her voice thundered with pure joy. For the first time in a generation, farmers worked their fields without fear shadowing every step they took. Children ran laughing through open fields, never knowing the terror their parents had barely survived. 40 years of peace followed, a peace bought through faith, courage, and one woman's unshakable trust in God. Deborah grew old beneath her palm tree, remembered forever as the woman who dared to believe when no one else would. Her story still speaks today. When faith rises where fear once ruled, God can move mountains through anyone willing to trust him.